all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business. Good morning. You're listening to the Daily Morning Update from Bloomberg Quint, and I'm Alex Matthew. Today is the 14th of July. Here's everything that you need to know. First up, there's news on the economic front. Retail inflation in India remained elevated in June despite a sharp plunge in economic activity as the cost of some food articles and transportation remained high. Consumer Price Index inflation stood at 6.09% in June 2020, according to data released by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation yesterday. A Bloomberg poll of 34 economists had estimated inflation at 5.3% for June 2020. At a shade over 6%, inflation remains just above the Monetary Policy Committee's tolerance band of 4% plus or minus 2%. Moving on, and this is important for individual taxpayers, the Income Tax Department has given taxpayers one-time relief to verify their returns for the last 5 years. Taxpayers who filed their returns electronically for assessment years 2015-16 to 2019-20, but who didn't verify them can do so by the 30th of September, according to a circular by the department. In case you didn't know, if returns are filed electronically without a digital signature, taxpayers are required to verify these using an Aadhaar one-time password, or they have to send a physical copy of the ITR-5 or the verification form to the department's Bangalore office within 4 months. If the returns aren't verified, they are considered invalid. In corporate news, Hindustan Zinc is seeking to raise as much as 5,000 crore rupees through local currency bonds to help finance a plan to take its parent private. That's according to a Bloomberg report which quoted unnamed sources. The proceeds are intended to repay part of the proposed $2.75 billion financing for the delisting of its parent, Vedanta. Now, Anil Agarwal announced in May that he plans to take the Indian commodities giant private as he continues to simplify his investments. In the banking space, Yes Bank is considering segregating its bad assets into a separate entity as it aims to lower the stress on its balance sheet. The proposed organization will be professionally run, where there will be investors, according to Prashant Kumar, who is Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director at Yes Bank. This is, of course, subject to regulatory approvals. The bank has already, though, created a separate vertical internally with more than 100 staffers to solely work on resolution and recovery of stressed accounts, according to Kumar. Now, Google has said that it plans to invest $10 billion, which is approximately 75,000 crore rupees, into India in the next 5 to 7 years as the search giant looks to deepen presence in the world's second largest internet market by users. The company will make the investment through Google for India Digitization Fund, according to Sundar Pichai, Chief Executive of Google and Alphabet Inc. He said this yesterday in an annual event online. The Trump administration has rejected China's expansive claims in the South China Sea, reversing a previous policy of not taking sides in territorial disputes in the region and escalating tensions with Beijing on yet another front. In a statement yesterday, Secretary of State Michael Pompeo said the message from the Trump administration was clear. Beijing's claims to offshore resources across most of the South China Sea are completely unlawful. In a statement yesterday, Secretary of State Michael Pompeo said the message from the Trump administration was clear. Beijing's claims to offshore resources across most of the South China Sea are completely unlawful, as is its campaign of bullying to control them. In international markets, US stocks declined on rising US-China tensions and because of concerns over the spread of the coronavirus. The S&P 500 dropped about 1%, while the Nasdaq declined over 2%. The Dow ended mostly unchanged. And all three early risers in the Asia Pacific region have started today's session in the red. With that, it's over to Agam Vakil for the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Agam. How are we looking today?
Good morning, Alex, and good morning, listeners. Well, the SGX Nifty futures is currently trending lower by 0.5%, and we could expect some amount of weakness in Indian markets at opening. But when it comes to stocks and news, right at the top we have Soba, where according to its latest shareholding pattern for June, Godrej Group's promoter entity Annamudi Real Estate's LLP's stake in Soba now stands at 9.99% from just 1% in March. Soba has also given us a COVID-19 update, and it says operations are returning to normalcy gradually, and at this stage there is no structural long-term impact on business. However, the pandemic has led to some disruption in construction activities on its project sites, and this will have an adverse impact on its billing. Now moving on, as per BF Utilities shareholding pattern for June, veteran investor Radhakishan Damani has acquired 1.3% stake in the company. Phoenix Mills is also in focus as the board has approved raising of 1,100 crores via equity and will issue about 15.6 lakh convertible equity warrants at 640 rupees per warrant. Bata has also given us a COVID-19 update where the company has reopened more than 1,200 of its 1,400 stores across the country. The company is going slow on new store openings but will continue to expand into newer towns via franchise routes. And in terms of the first quarter earnings, today we will get Wipro, Mindtree, Century Textiles, Oberoi Realty and Delta Corp among many others will be announcing results today. Now, these are just some of the stocks we can watch out for as we move into trade today, but don't forget to go through our morning edition of All You Need to Know only on BloombergQuint.com.
Thanks, Agam. And as always, thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great day.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you could listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. Or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.